Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP Today. Alex Marquez is entering the 2025 MotoGP season with a measured yet optimistic outlook. In a detailed pre-season interview ahead of the Thai tests, the Gresini Racing rider opened up about his positive feelings with the new Ducati GP24, his ambitions for his first MotoGP victory, and his high regard for teammate Marc Márquez, whom he described as almost invincible when everything is in place. VR46 Ducati's Franco Morbidelli made a bold claim after the Thai MotoGP, asserting that, given the circumstances, first was the maximum result he could have aimed for. Despite a three-place grid penalty for impeding teammate Pecco Bagnaia during practice, Morbidelli battled his way back to finish an admirable fourth, a result he believes was limited by his starting position and the toll of his recovery efforts. In a dramatic shake-up of MotoGP's tire landscape, Dorna Sports has announced that Pirelli will become the sole tire supplier for all classes from 2027. This decision marks a significant departure from the current setup, where Michelin has been the exclusive provider for MotoGP since 2016. However, Michelin's motorsport boss, Piero Terramasso, has been clear: this unified supply approach was not an option for the French brand. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Speaking to Emilio Perez de Rosas for El Periódico de Catalunya just hours before the first tests in Thailand, Alex Marquez emphasized the importance of starting the season calm and happy. He praised the seamless fit of the Ducati GP24 to his riding style, adding that the Gresini team, led by Nadia Padovani, has been crucial in ensuring everything runs smoothly. Better to start the year happy, calm, checking that this way, from the start, we have everything in its place. The Ducati 2024 is an ideal bike for my riding style, and seeing that the Gresini team has everything under control makes all the difference. Quote from Alex Marquez. Alex recalled the breakthrough moment at the Barcelona test when he first experienced the GP24, noting how dramatically it differs from last year's package. The introduction of Michelin's new rear tire not only improved grip but also transformed the bike into a more forgiving machine. For Alex, this evolution means fewer mistakes costing him time on track, a key advantage in a fiercely competitive field. This bike is ideal for me. The 2023 was very good, but it was a step behind this 24, especially when Michelin changed the rear tire. The GP24 was born for that new generation rear tire. It forgives you, unlike the previous setup which punished every mistake. While pre-season testing brought moments of brilliance, Alex was candid about the challenges that lie ahead. Despite feeling at 100% every lap during the Thai Grand Prix, he recounted how pushing the limits too hard can sometimes destabilize the bike, particularly in the closing laps when the margins become razor thin. His focus, however, remains on extracting every bit of performance from the GP24, knowing that consistent improvements can pave the way for podiums, or even that elusive first win. It's important to analyze every detail and improve. The 23 was like going on the edge of a cliff, but this bike gives you so much confidence that you have to be careful not to push too far. We're cooking up my first victory, and when the opportunity appears, we'll be ready to seize it. No discussion of the upcoming season would be complete without mentioning Marc Márquez, whom Alex described with high praise. Recognizing Marc's ability to lock everything in when conditions are optimal, Alex stressed that while any rider can challenge him, the Spaniard's consistency and minimal weak points make him nearly unbeatable when firing on all cylinders. I always think that Marc can win, always. You just have to look at his record. When Marc has everything in place, as it seems he has now, he is almost invincible. You can beat him, of course, but he is the one with the fewest weak points. With preseason sessions generating optimism among the Gresini team, Alex remains grounded about the long MotoGP season ahead. While the preseason showed promising pace and adaptability, he is well aware that race conditions can differ vastly from testing. Alex's ultimate ambition is to finish consistently in the top 5 of the championship, a goal that, if reached, would signify a breakthrough in a career still in its early stages. Finishing in the top 5 of the World Championship would be fantastic. It means finishing ahead of many established riders and machines. I'm ready to fight for my first victory and keep improving every race. As the 2025 season gears up, Alex Marquez is poised between youthful optimism and the hard reality of MotoGP's competitive demands. With a bike that perfectly matches his style and a team determined to back him up, the stage is set for a season filled with promise, and perhaps a few surprises. And with Marc Márquez looking almost invincible, the battles on track are sure to be as thrilling as they are unpredictable. Stay tuned as we follow Alex's journey toward that first victory and a season defined by grit, skill, and relentless ambition. The weekend in Buram started on a challenging note for Morbidelli. A grid penalty, imposed for impeding Bagnaia in practice, dropped him from his ideal starting position down to 9th on the grid. Despite this setback, the Italian rider demonstrated grit and determination, recovering well on Saturday. First was the maximum today, but fourth was the maximum we could do starting from the position we were starting from after Friday's mistake. Quote from Franco Morbidelli. Morbidelli's race was defined by his efforts to claw back positions despite the handicap. Initially, he experimented with a hard front tire setup, but the team convinced him to switch to the softer compound, a decision that allowed him to make key overtakes early in the race. However, pushing hard to recover ground came at a cost. It was very difficult to make those overtakes, Morbidelli admitted, recalling how he used up his front tire trying to challenge rivals. The intense heat and the demanding circuit meant that after a risky pass on Bagnaia, he had to slow down to preserve his tires, ultimately locking him into 4th place. As soon as I got to Pecco, I made a mistake because I needed to use too much the front tire to pass the other guys. Then I needed to breathe again because it was very hot, step back and bring the bike to P4. Despite the challenges, Morbidelli found a silver lining in his performance, highlighting improvements in his race starts, a long-standing area of weakness on the Ducati GP24. We did a great start. This one, with last year's start in Mandalika were the best starts we got, he said. However, he emphasized that starting further forward would be crucial for converting these efforts into a higher finish. His determination and insight earned high praise from Ducati's Gigi D'Allegna, who lauded Morbidelli for his gritty, battle-hardened performance in overcoming adversity. A big smile for Morbidelli too, gritty and battle-hardened, who despite the grid penalty, finished with an admirable 4th place after an exciting comeback. Quote from Ducati's Gigi D'Allegna. Franco Morbidelli's performance in Thailand might not have yielded a victory, but it underscored his resilience and tactical acumen in the face of setbacks. With clear lessons learned about tire management and the critical importance of starting positions, the Italian rider is determined to build on this experience. As the season unfolds, all eyes will be on Morbidelli to see if he can convert his hard-fought recovery into the breakthrough result he believes is within his grasp. Stay tuned for more updates from the MotoGP circuit. On March 6, 2025, MotoGP officials confirmed that Pirelli would supply tires across all classes: MotoGP, Moto2, Moto3, MotoE, and even the feeder series such as the Rookies Cup and Talent Cup from the 2027 season. While Pirelli already holds contracts in Moto2 and Moto3 and serves as the tire supplier for Formula 1 and World Superbike, this move represents a bold strategy by Dorna Sports to standardize the racing rubber across the board. Piero Terramasso addressed the news with a firm stance during a recent press briefing. He explained that after months of discussions over an extension of Michelin's MotoGP contract beyond 2026, Dorna Sports' decision to adopt a single tire supplier was not in line with Michelin's strategy. Unfortunately, this setup was not an option for Michelin, which has always prioritized MotoGP and MotoE. Teramaso stated. For Michelin, MotoGP is the pinnacle of motorcycle racing, a test bed for innovation and performance data that informs technological advancements across motorsport. Motorcycle racing at the MotoGP level is where we set records in collaboration with manufacturers and the best riders in the world. We respect Dorna's position and remain focused on our role as the tire supplier for the 2025 and 2026 seasons for both MotoGP and MotoE. Quote from Piero Teramaso. The decision to unify tire suppliers is expected to have far-reaching implications for the sport. While Pirelli gears up to extend its dominance in other racing series, including World SBK and Formula One, the shift in MotoGP raises questions about how teams and riders will adapt to the new single-supplier regime. Michelin, having cultivated a reputation for pushing the limits of performance in MotoGP, is now left to regroup and focus its efforts on the remaining seasons under its current contracts. With Dorna Sports steering MotoGP toward a unified tire future, the rivalry between tire manufacturers is set to intensify across different motorsport disciplines. Pirelli's established presence in lower categories and its ongoing commitments in F1 and World SBK suggest that the Italian brand is well positioned to capitalize on this transition. For Michelin, the coming years will involve leveraging its expertise in MotoGP to remain competitive in the short term while reassessing its long-term strategy. As MotoGP prepares for a major transformation in its tire supply strategy from 2027, Michelin's response underscores the deep-rooted challenges that come with such a paradigm shift. With Pirelli now set to provide tires across all classes, the coming seasons promise to be a fascinating period of adaptation and innovation. Stay tuned as we continue to follow the evolving dynamics of MotoGP's tire battle and its impact on the sport's future. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. See you next time.